excited to be at the ZITF Innovation Forum 2024, where the young people are bringing their innovations to contribute to industrialization towards Vision 2030. What's particularly interesting for me is watching the growth over the past 4 to 5 years, where we started off with just 30 young people applying for the innovation competition, to us getting to 300 and having to even screen so that, you know, we choose the best even before the main pitch. So this is amazing because it shows how ZITF is bridging that gap between the young people and the older people, the young business and the older business, the startups and the innovators, versus the big giants who are even here with us today supporting the initiative, giants like ZB, UNDP. We are so grateful, and this is just a show that Zimbabwe's got talent and we're definitely going somewhere together. Day one has started off with such a hype. The room has so much energy. The pitches are on another level. And what has been amazing is seeing how the presentations from Aripo, teaching them about patenting and technologies, how the panel discussion from ZwimSwitch, from ZESA, all these things are coming together. And right now the presentation from Emma, the things that they are presenting are really solutions to the challenges that have been raised in the panel discussion. It's just amazing to see how it's all coming together for the benefit of the young people. We're looking forward to day two. Day two is going to have a freelance kind of pitching. It won't be themed. It's mostly startups, those who are already in business and doing something, and they need funding to accelerate and grow their businesses. And we're excited about day two because it will also bring together industry to come and listen to the innovators, industry coming as investors to these ideas. We'll also be graced by our Honorable Minister, Professor Amon Mwira, and we're really excited about that.
Hi, my name is Nicolette Mazilovu, and I'm from China University of Technology, and I'm here at the Young Innovators Forum, and I was speaking on live check. So live check is a system of checkers that we use to check cows. For example, not only cows but also chickens, whatever livestock that you might have. So it actually helps us in terms of estimating the breeding time, knowing where your livestock is, and also checking for diseases. So what happens is when usually cows are in their mating season, they start climbing on each other, and we use accelerometers in the checkers whereby we can be able to tell that the posture is changed, and that will help us to be able to make better decisions in terms of how we want to breed our livestock. We can also do contact tracing in case of cows that are sick. You can be able to contact to see which cow has been where, in contact with what cow, and that will also help the spread of diseases. We can also monitor if a cow is sick. For example, livestock, they've got an average daily like walking around and moving around. So if you see that this activity has reduced, it will alert you that something is not right. And you can also check its location, if it's been stolen, if it's still alive, if the checker has been removed. So what we use is a network called LoRa, which means that it's a free license network. So what happens is that if you are subscribed to LiveCheck, as long as you're paying our monthly subscriptions, you don't need extra data to be able to do the day-to-day monitoring. So you just there's a checker that will be on the livestock, then it sends a network to a gateway which will be connected to your computer, and then that computer has got an app that can send messages. You can either put it on your WhatsApp, or if you've got a 2G phone, it can also transmit to your 2G phone and you get SMSs. So yeah, that's about it. Also use AI, machine learning, whereby we use a classification system called support vectors. So it will help us check with, especially for grazing, if we want to see if the certain paddock is being overgrazed or whatever. So it will check the movements of the cows and actually be able to make out if they're grazing too much in a certain area. And this AI will also help us to check if maybe a calf has lost its mom and stuff like that. So yeah, there's main components. We've got a chip that we put in our system, which is called an Apollo chip. It's a low voltage microcontroller chip, so that means that it doesn't use a lot of voltage because it only uses 0.5, which is compared to most microcontroller chips which use 5 volts. So that means with this checker it can go up to 3 months without you having to change the battery. So yeah, those are the core elements that we have in our system.
I'm Frank Makeba from Chinhoyi University of Technology and a founder of Woroza AI. Woroza AI is an agriculture contact center which assists farmers for his or her problem using his native language. So a farmer can interact with the contact center either via a 2G phone, in Shona we call them Kambuzi, or using an Android phone or a web application, and then he can get an automated voice response, SMS or a text for his problem. So to create this platform we have leveraged artificial intelligence, machine learning and natural language processing, which are all parts of artificial intelligence. So for natural language processing we have used our local data set, Shona dataset, to create a Shona model which understands the Shona language. We have used the recordings from the preachers who preach in Shona. We also have used our Shona music to create a large language model which understands the Shona. And we also, for disease prediction, we also visited the farmers, taking the pictures of their crops and then analyzing the disease, and we created also the model for the disease, and we also created the model which predict which do fertilizer recommendation based on the type of the soil, where you take the picture and then it process and give you the feedback. Thank you.
Hello, my name is David Zalagos from the Zimbabwe University. I do hereby give you my presentation about the system that we want to develop as a Great Zimbabwe University students, which is called the optimization of input allocation and distribution for the climate-proved presidential input scheme. So this project it mainly focuses on the allocation and distribution of the inputs that are given to the farmers. So what happens when the inputs are given to the farmers? There's a lot of corruption that happens in between the distribution and the allocation. So what we are trying to solve here is corruption, and also we are trying to solve lack of transparency and also the limited of farmer autonomy. So the farmers, they don't know what has been issued by the president. They just know what they are going to receive. But we need the transparency in between. So here we are trying to leverage artificial intelligence to come up with a system that optimizes the allocation of the systems. So for example, if we have two farmers, one with 10 hectares and another with 2 hectares, those farmers, they don't need to be given the same amount of inputs. So our system is to determine how much amount of inputs are needed for a certain farmer. So the system will take some factors like the climate in that area, the soil type, the crop type that farmer is growing, and also the land size. Then with those factors, we are going to train a model that which, if you give it those, we call them the variables, it will give you the certain amount of input that the farmer needs to crop his farm or his certain type of crop that is growing. So what it does, it takes those factors into consideration, then it will calculate the minimum amount of input that farmer needs. So we are trying to avoid a scenario when a farmer is given 10 bags of fertilizers, for example, then at the end of the production, the farmer will yield an amount of harvest which will be summing up to 2 bags of fertilizers. Where is the 10 bags? Where is that 10 bags gone? So instead of giving that farmer 10 bags of cement where 2 is required, the system will now calculate the amount of inputs required for a certain particular farmer. Then we now know that this farmer needs 10 bags of fertilizers for his 10 hectares for growing cotton or for growing tobacco, etc. So how does this help us? So we are trying to improve the efficiency here. So when we distribute those inputs to farmers, we are trying to have an equalized distribution so that each farmer will receive the certain amounts of inputs that he or she wants. Regardless that we are sharing 10 bags of cement to each and every farmer, we give 2 to those who have 2 hectares, or we give 10 to those who have a larger piece of land, or if you are planting a certain type of crop which require some specific inputs, the system will show us that you need 10 bags of cement. So when you come for yield assessment, we will know that we give you 10 bags of fertilizers which were predicted by the system. So we are expecting to have a yield of this amount. So it will help us to manage the resource allocation and the distribution of the system. So this is mainly focused on the private organization that will be doing the allocation part. Then the farmers will receive, the farmers will be helped very greatly.
So thank you. I'm Kangai Mangazwa, the Group Chief Transformation Officer for ZITF Financial Holdings. I'm quite happy to be here again at the Innovators Forum, just to try to see what the youngsters are pitching in terms of their ideas. We are sponsoring this as ZBFH because we believe innovation is going to take us to the next level. As a financial services institution, we've been innovating in a number of areas. We've gone through a digital transformation, which is one of the innovations that we have actually done. We have signed quite a lot of institutions. Is Innovation Hub in the tertiary education. We've also signed with a number of players. And as we speak today, we have an Innovation Hub that we are actually virtually getting new ideas and seeing how we can nurture them to become something fruitful for the country and for our business as well. In today's forum, yes, we are seeing good ideas. Our people are focusing more on the agriculture from what we have seen. And I think it's important for us to understand that food security is key. To understand that the climate conditions are changing and we need solutions that can curb or mitigate the risks that are associated with food security, the absence of food or the changes in the climatic conditions. And we are seeing the youngsters actually coming up with solutions, one that can save money, two that can make agriculture less expensive, which means it can reduce the capital required to run the business, three, to manage the crops, to manage the livestock, to just make sure that it's a profitable business at the end of the day. So we are quite happy to see that quite a number of pitches are looking at ideas that can actually be quite meaningful in terms of resolving or serving the needs that we've got as an economy.